Burnout Box, Season 2, episode... Do you know the episode name?
I have no idea.
44.
44. You're Justin. And I'm Rebecca.
And Odin is the name of our new Supercharger.
Yeah.
That we have been talking a lot about.
Yeah, we have, haven't we? We've been doing a lot with Odin. We took Odin on a trip to Indiana.
Odin was on display at the PRI show. Yeah.
Best looking spokesmodel I ever seen.
Yeah. And we've been putting her on the dyno on cars here back at the VMP shop. So we even went to the track last night.
I was going to say, I thought I heard that it had been to the track, and I haven't, and I'm a little jealous.
Yeah. Well, you will get back out to the track soon. Yeah. We still got like another month or two of really good weather in Florida.
Oh no, March, the DA stays good in Florida. Good is a relative term. Till March, usually.
Yeah. You can get those cold days or cold evenings.
Without a ton of moisture, yeah.
Right.
Yep. So we'll be back. But you were there. I'm the one that needs to go back.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't racing. I was trying to crew chief for the person that I was with. So I'm like, all right, did we torque the lug nuts? Check the tire pressure. I will be the tire pressure checker. And,
did you have a tire pressure checker that you could wear around your neck?
No,
so you
I
really.
didn't.
Oh,
I
I'm
didn't.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I feel badly for you.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
I'm glad I wasn't there and not racing because, in my opinion, it was miserably cold to be at the track and not be racing. There's only one acceptable reason to be outside in the cold, and that's if you are in your race car.
Yeah, it was definitely cool last night. So but we made it. Just had a jacket.
And it wasn't ridiculously cold. It wasn't killer DA or anything. It just was enough that my cold-hating body would have been sad.
Yeah. I don't do well with the cold either.
I think you made fun of me, though, recently and told me that I was a reptile.
Oh, really? Sorry about that, honey.
Because it was going to be 70 and I needed my jacket.
But Odin did really, really well last night at the track. It ran 161.3 mile per hour on that built motor car.
That's a really, really strong mile per hour.
Yes. For a 10-speed automatic, it is in the top 5 for supercharged cars, according to the official list on Facebook, as they say. So we were actually, mile per hour wise, is the third fastest car. Third fastest supercharged 10R80. Yeah. That's pretty crazy.
And with a mile per hour, you can definitely kind of figure out power numbers if you want.
It correlates with our dyno numbers that we had.
Pretty strongly. The
car, I believe, is around, I think it's around 4,200 or more. I'm going to ask.
It's like racing a tank. But not really. I mean, people that have S550 cars is used to that, hearing that weight. It just sounds like so much to me. Cause
it's heavy.
Yeah.
And we actually ordered a ANA K-member for the car, a street version, to drop some weight out of it.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, we got one on order. It's not going to be here till after the new year because of lead times for powder coating and all that stuff. But But this car that Odin is on, I don't think it's ever going to be incredibly light.
It's a pretty nice car. Yeah. I mean, it's a brand new car.
Yeah.
So,
Until you totally gut a car, I mean, it's hard to get them down below, to like 3,500 pounds in an S550.
That's light.
There's like nothing left.
Yeah. That's real light.
Especially when you consider like the weight of the safety equipment and
absolutely
the power adder, the ice tanks, all that stuff.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to do to make it super light unless you want to get real crazy with it. And sometimes people don't want to I don't understand not wanting to get real crazy with it, but apparently there are people out there that like their cars to be comfortable.
I just got the official word. The car is just over 4,000 pounds that Odin ran. And we have a time slip for Odin that, Brian, did you see that? I emailed it over to you. I don't know if you have your email on that computer. So if you want to throw up the first full track pass with Odin.
I mean, this is amazing. The first full pass that it goes out and makes runs a freaking 8.7. Like, where's the shakedown? Where is all that? You guys all went and made it look too easy. I feel like I've been on the struggle bus for no reason.
I mean, we literally came off the dyno yesterday afternoon, loaded it up in the trailer, and went to the track, and whipped off an 8.7 at 161. So it was awesome. I mean, it's just
that is awesome.
And the track prep last night was just a regular test and tune night. This was no private rental. This was no perfect surface.
You only had Wade Rich's guidance, not his actual effort.
Wade was staying warm in the tower. And,
I don't blame the man. He's a hard worker, and he deserves to stay warm if he can teach somebody else how to do what he does.
Yeah. So it was awesome. Just go out there and rip that off. So the track was not real great, so it came out kind of soft. That is not.
See that in that 60 foot.
Yeah, that is not the car's best 60-foot time.
Do you have to pedal a little bit?
Yeah. And but then on the back end, it was just boogieing. And we're still on an 8-rib belt. This car doesn't have our full 10-rib conversion yet. It will eventually.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah.
It's coming. We're working on it all.
I mean, this is just, like I said, we just came off the dyno and went out there. I have not perfected the setup like I plan to.
Yeah, so, I mean, and there's no aftermarket suspension at this point on it, is there, or is there not?
I think there's a little bit.
Okay, I'm not sure about the setup. I don't even know whose car it is, so.
I don't like how these S550 IRS cars leave, though, and this one has the same problem, which is why it spun on a couple of runs. They very easily, they come out, they squat, and then they unload the suspension.
Yeah.
Which the faster you get,
the more you suffer that kind of. Yeah.
And if you're at a certain ET, you can rely on the tire and the track prep to still hold on, even when it unloads a little bit. But then once you start to go faster, you just have to keep that tire constantly loaded or it spins. Because one of the runs, I mean, it came out, it hooked, and then it spun a couple feet out.
Yeah.
The worst thing ever.
Yeah, it's not fun.
So that was Odin's first track foray, and we are happy with it, and we're going to go out in a couple more weeks and go faster.
Yeah, we got to get past Christmas.
Yeah. So we got a couple questions. Huncho James asks, I hope your front-mounted ice tanks are still on sale. I'm going to place an order after this stream. So he's talking about our 11 to 14 and 15 to 17. Yeah, front-mounted ice tanks. They're up on our website. You can see them. And I am not sure about the sale.
I was going to say, are they included in the end of the year sale? I'm not sure. I know that I read it, but at this point, my brain is kind of mush from being up too late.
Yeah, take a look at our website. I know we do have them in stock. So
one of our sales guys.
Yeah.
We'll help you out.
Brandon Anders, has VMP ever thought of expanding into the Hemi or LS platforms? So that's a great
interesting question.
Yeah.
Didn't we just have a post about?
We had a Hellcat on the dyno. There's a video.
Well, and I think on our social media we've got a Hellcat throttle body that you can get from one of our partners.
Yes. So there's a VMP 105mm throttle body for Hellcats, and I will tell you that Modern Muscle bought the entire run along with Joker's porting, so you can get those throttle bodies from them. Yeah. And
it's a nice looking throttle body.
Yeah, it's a billet 105, and we switched things up a little bit. It is a gunmetal anodized. You like that?
I liked it. Yeah. You know what? I want my throttle body gunmetal anodized.
You know, you and John Hartman both want non-polished throttle bodies.
You know how I am about polish. Like, I'm just not into it.
And I told John I would do a run of them just to give me a chance to get around to doing it.
Yeah.
So in addition to that, I mean, we do at the shop here, we do dyno tuning for Dodge and Chevy and standalones as well. So we can always do that for you. And we do have access to the entire Magnuson line of superchargers, and we can tune them. So
absolutely, I talked to so many LS guys at PRI, and I was like, I will get you set up with a Magnuson supercharger, and you will be happy.
Nice. And then, so yeah, so that's the short on Hemi and LS and LT. We can do all of it. So Mike H. Can. We see into Odin's mouth. So he wants to see into the inlet of the supercharger. I don't think we've like released pictures of that just because we really haven't like thought about it as a thing.
And at the track.
I mean, yeah, it was on display at PRI, you know. I'm sure people were over there. There was a throttle body bolted up, and I'm sure people were opening it up and looking inside. And kind of like,
are you saying people like me, like we talked about it at PRI, if there's a throttle body being around me, I cannot like keep myself from banging on the blade and messing with it.
Yeah.
It's like habitual.
I wonder where the PRI throttle body is to see how many fingerprints are on the brass.
Well, so the other thing that I do, besides habitually messing with the blade, is I constantly wipe it down with my sleeve because I don't like seeing the...
Oh, yeah. So, Bossman 12 Bosks, any release date on the new lower manifold from MFP? We are still working with MFP on that, so I do not know the release date yet. Cute Shadow Kia. I saw your 1,000 horsepower video. It redlines at 8,200 RPM. What is that safe on a stock 18 or due to the built bottom? That's a really good question. Safe redline for 18 up. I feel like as Coyotes have evolved since the Gen 1, we've gotten braver and braver.
I mean, are we getting braver and braver, or are they getting more and more robust?
Yeah, you know.
Maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would say stock bottom end. At this day and age, I really don't have a problem with $8,000. You know, so yeah. Logan H says, what would you guys recommend for a fuel system on a boosted S197? Trying to go to E85. Well, Logan, I would recommend our VMP fuel system. It's easy to install. We have a complete video, complete plug-and-play wiring harness. The fuel system is actually dubbed plug-and-play because we've made it, you don't have to make your own lines or fittings. You basically just hook everything up. You don't have to do any wiring. You just hook everything up, and that's that.
Plug it in, and then you go play.
Yes.
I can do that in sign language too, play.
So we got one person asking about the 1,000 horsepower video on Odin. Do we have any other questions on the Odin 1,000 horsepower number? You know, throw them at us. This is your shot to do that. Boss Man said, what are your thoughts on the new Werewolf Ford engine block? So I have a theory on where that came from, and if we get the video out, then we will release that. But
I don't know your theory, and this bothers me that I don't know.
I mean, I actually think it's a really cool idea. I don't really care what it costs because I think you got to pay to play. You know, we broke an aluminum block recently, and you know, if the iron block lets you rebuild it and not have to break it at higher power levels and stuff, like you can usually, when you get into class racing, you can usually make up weight in other parts of the car. You're usually adding weight in certain places and taking it out in other places. Yeah. So the weight penalty doesn't scare me a whole lot. I would like to know what it actually weighs more than the aluminum block.
So we were walking by it at the end of the day. Nobody was left in PRI except for the Ford people, and they were all having some beer. And the two of them mentioned, Yeah, it was really hard to lift onto the
Right.
pedestal. They were complaining that that was their big complaint.
I do remember them saying though too that the block that was on display at the PRI show was not fully machined.
Yeah.
So the block would get lighter as they machined it as an actual finished block, which is kind of cool to hear. You know, and one of the things that isn't talked about a whole lot, but like a stock spray bore aluminum block is very light because there's no iron cylinder liner. And then when you sleeve it, you know, that can be like another 10 pounds. So if a full-on iron block is only 50 pounds heavier than a sleeved, you know, 40 to 50 pounds heavier than a sleeved stock block, I don't know. So MVAV 1592 asks, when will you take it to the track? I assume he means Odin.
Yeah, we did last night.
Yeah, so a little bit earlier in the show, we popped a time slip up on the screen of Odin running 870 at 161 in the quarter mile at a regular test and tune night at Orlando Speed World.
With a little bit of pedaling,
Yeah.
like based on that 360 foot.
Not great track prep. Not the best 60 foot the car's ever been.
But we do plan to go back and get a better pass out of it. We know it's got it in it based on the fact that it had to be pedaled. So probably sometime shortly after Christmas.
Yeah. So Yuri Pata asks, just tuning in, what kind of money do you think the Odin system will run? So the top of the line Odin system will run $89.99, and that comes with billet throttle body, big injectors, fuel pump booster, like all the stuff.
Anything you need to run, like that's what it's there.
Now with we will have like base Odin kits that are just very basic, much lower horsepower numbers that use the stock throttle body. They use a smaller injector, stuff like that. So those will be available as well if you just want to get into a supercharger, not necessarily worried about making a ton of power.
And those are available for pre-sale now. So if you hit up our website or our sales team, we can get you on the list for pre-sale. And with that pre-sale, we are doing a special plaque and T-shirt that goes with it. So if you want to get in on that stuff, definitely let us know.
Ryan Cummins says, I have a bone stock 2019 GT. Do you recommend tires and suspension or power adding mods first? Thanks in advance. We had a lot of fun with our 18 GT, same thing when it was bone stock.
Yeah, it depends on what you want to do with the car. I mean, if you need to go out and class race it next week, you better get on the power adder, depending on what class you're running. But if you are wanting just to mess around, I mean, you can have a lot of fun with a good tire, suspension, and tune.
Yeah, I mean, tune in a cold air. Like, everything's proportional. You're not going to spin the pants off the car, at least on the track, you know, with just...
Spin the pants?
I don't know.
Is this a washing machine or a car? Jesus.
I don't know. You know, you can still go out there and hook on like a stock tire with a short burnout to clean them off with just like a tune in a cold air. You know, the tire becomes more important when you're going for that best possible ET, or you have a big power adder, like a supercharger or nitrous or turbos.
Yeah. I like a good tire.
Yeah, you do.
I don't know anything about racing though, so.
Just a little bit. I mean, you know, just a little bit. You know a lot. I'm being sarcastic. I'm digging a hole. Where's my shovel? I need to dig my hole deeper.
I am confident in what I know. It doesn't bother me what you say about it. You don't have to worry about it.
I was doing a bad job at it.
You don't have to worry about it. I'm not going to be upset. People have said way worse, much more directly to my face about what I know.
Unfortunately, they have.
And mostly I just laugh.
So Logan H asks, are IETs lower with the overhead intercooler? If so, how much lower?
You know what? I want to know this too because I haven't seen data logs.
So the IETs are very good with the overhead intercooler. we're able to package a lot more intercooler, and that keeps IATs in check. So they only rose about 12 degrees over the course of a quarter-mile pass, about similar for a dyno pull.
Nice. That's really nice, actually.
Yuri Pata asks, will there be options to upgrade the base Odin systems, as in the remaining parts that are different between the base kits and the top of the line you mentioned? Thanks. Absolutely, Yuri. We have an adapter to use the stock throttle body on Odin. If you are going bigger, then you just pull that adapter off and you bolt on one of our throttle bodies, which can be purchased separately. And there's, everything's upgradable. You do have to buy it twice, but you can add our dual fan heat exchanger on later on. You can upgrade injectors, etc.
That's one of the things that I've always really appreciated about what we do, is that it can grow with you. It's been integral to me going faster. So I think that that's a really nice aspect of our kits.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've always built them modular and upgradable. Pavlo50 asks, what is the smallest pulley I can run on the VMP Gen 3 blower 6-rib setup before I start getting belt slip? So, that's a good question. 6-rib VMP Gen 3. You can go down to a 72 or a 69. We did recently add Grip Tech 69, 66, 63, I think even 72 millimeter pulleys to the website. I'll have to see if they're up there, but that should allow you to go pretty small on a 6-rib. Jed Smara says, when you said built bottom end on the Gen 3, was it just rods and pistons, and how much would it be safe up to then? So Jed, that's a good question. So the Gen 3 Coyote that we recently ran Odin on the dyno in the track had forged rods and pistons. It was sleeved, and that is it. It would be safe up to 1,100, 1,200 rear wheel horsepower. We've got more power left in the blower setup, but at some point you're going to want to do airflow mods like camshafts and porting the heads and stuff too. Absolutely. Because that stuff goes hand in hand. You don't want to run a ton of boost. You actually want your boost as low as possible in your engine.
What do I always say when people ask how much boost our blowers can run?
Yeah.
As little as possible is the ideal answer. It's not about making enough pressure to blow everything to pieces.
Huncho James says, what's your opinion on water meth kits on supercharged applications? They can be useful in some situations. I don't like to be over-reliant on them, but they do occasionally have their place. I would probably just use the supercharger system with good cooling and not really rely on it. So, I think that's, we're getting down to the time of Burnout Box. So, do we have any questions left, Brian?
No, that's all.
That's all? Okay.
We got one down there.
Oh, we got one last one from Bossman12 Boss. Does the Odin run cooler than the Gen 3R for IATs? Bossman12 Boss, based on our experience so far, yes. Hey, Carter.
Yes.
All right, we're ready.
You're fine.
Please remember to bye. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Happy New Year, and I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and blow stuff up for New Year's Eve.
So we'll be off next week on Christmas Eve and the day after Christmas. So we will see everybody next year, and we will be having more fun with VMP's line of supercharger kits, tuning, our Odin supercharger, and everything else. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.